everyone, this is Chef Steven. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are getting ready for Halloween, which is just a couple of days away. So before we have our big party, I want to show you a very easy recipe. We're going to do a different take on some candied apples by making our Jack-o'-lantern candied apples. Really easy, not a lot of ingredients here in front of us, and that's the best way to do your recipe. We've got 2.5 cups of white sugar, a cup of water, 3/4 cup of corn syrup, of course to get that orange color, some red and yellow food coloring. We've also got 8 little Fuji apples. If you want to make more, go with more. If you don't, that's fine too. To give our little stems to our pumpkins, we've got cinnamon sticks, as well as to decorate, we've also got some green and black food gel. So let's get this started. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that your apples are clean, right? Clean food is great. The next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to put everything into a little sauce pot. This little pot is going to be a lot easier to dip our apples in. So with that being said, pour everything in. Your sugar, your water, and your corn syrup. Everything's in our pot. Let's start cooking that up to 300 degrees. To make sure that we are at that temperature, make sure that you got your candy thermometer. We're going to start adding a little bit of some food coloring. We're going to start with 1 drop of red, and then we're going to add about 7 to 10 drops of yellow. What I like about this is you can always play with it just a little bit. At this point, this is where we'll put our candy thermometer in our pot and add a little more yellow for safe measure. Next, we're just going to let that come to a boil till we get 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius. While our candy's going, we're just going to get a knife and we're going to carefully remove the stem and the bottom part as well. That's it. And this is what it looks like at 300, just a little bit thicker. I turned off the heat. We're going to let this cool down. We're going to slightly cool this down so that way we don't burn ourselves as much. But of course, we're still going to be very careful. Let's put our candied apples together. Now you have one of 2 options. You can either dunk it and twirl it around if you're not afraid of getting yourself burnt. Just remember though, it's candy, it's at 300 degrees, so it will burn you. But what we're going to do is kind of tilt this a little bit so we can try to get all of this done. I'm a little scared, so I'm just going to use tongs from here on out. But we're going to do a couple of our apples. We're going to let it drip just a little bit, and then we're going to put it on our parchment paper. We're going to give this a few minutes to harden up. Our candy's had a little bit of time to firm up. Now we get to break off all these extra pieces, and we'll let it continue to firm up. Now to really give off that look of a jack-o'-lantern, we're going to get a little bit of our green icing. And we're just going to kind of draw our leaves. Get as creative as you want. Of course, do this to every single one of them. Then what you're going to do is carefully draw your eyes on your jack-o'-lantern. And there you go. Now you've got your candied apple jack-o'-lanterns. Now the moment that we've all been waiting for is trying them. Now the moment of truth. We get to dig into one. This is where I say get a good knife. And we're just going to kind of crack into this. But now is the time where we get to try our candied apples. Let's see. That's a candied apple, all right. Delicious, easy to make, great for your Halloween parties. I hope you learned something today. Make sure that you follow me on social media. Chef Steven Gonzalez on Facebook. Chef Stegon's on Instagram and Twitter. Also, go to chefstevengonzalez.com to get a copy of my cookbook, Get Your Grub On, where we've got all sorts of recipes and ideas. And with all that being said, we're going to catch you later. Happy Halloween.